Hey everybody, good morning and welcome to the first day of our daily creative challenge starting today, focusing on Photoshop. Really good to see all of you. Let me know if this is your first time watching a daily creative challenge so I know where we're getting started. I see a lot of friends in the chat. How are you all? What's up, Sam? Thanks everybody for waiting that last couple minutes. It's always a little bit of a struggle on Monday morning, I know. What's up, Ralph? What's up, Fairy? Good to see you. So it's been a while since I've been back, so I'm gonna really quickly reintroduce myself. What's up, Steve? I know, Chad, it's been so long. Too long, even, I would say. I'm Kathleen. I'm a designer here at Adobe. I used to host a lot of live streams, been doing it a little less recently just because other tutorials need to be made in other places within the company. But it's really good to be back with all of you. So if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge in any form, but specifically to Photoshop, let me know and I'm going to go over it really quickly so we are all on the same page before we get started this next 2 weeks. It kind of feels like this is the first day of camp and we're like all getting to know each other. We're becoming friends. We're learning what we're going to learn for the next 2 weeks. What's up, Aunt? Ooh, Jody, first time for the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Yes, welcome in. Good to have you. So let me really quickly switch over to my screen so you guys can see what I see. And we can talk about this challenge. So this is a 2-week challenge where we're going to be building our Photoshop skills from start to finish. If you're a total newbie to Photoshop, this is the perfect place for you to start. So it's going to start today, June 21st, and end, well, not July 23rd. Well, yeah, technically July 23rd. So the live sessions are going to go for the next 2 weeks, and then we're going to play a replay of it the 2 weeks after that in case you missed anything or want to try anything a second time. So you can join the challenge by just clicking this blue button. If you're logged in on Behance, which you should be if you're chatting within the chat pod, just click that. It will register you so you get a notification every day for the different challenges. And you can scroll on down here and every day there's going to be a different challenge unlocked. So like I said, every day we're going to be learning different kind of basic Photoshop skills, whether it's how do I work with layers? What is Photoshop actually? How do I work with blend modes? We're going to cover really, really basic stuff, but make really, really cool things. Hope that makes sense. What's up, Austin? Bruce, good times. Yes, agreed. So like I mentioned, we have this live stream every single day, Monday through Friday for the next 2 weeks with me live answering questions, showing you a workflow. But you can always watch the replays here. They will be saved here forever. And you can also chat with your friends and get feedback on your work on Discord. So chat, let me know if you are part of Discord already. I feel like a lot of you have been on there for like years. And if you have no idea what it is, let me just tell you. So you're gonna click this community chat button right here and it's gonna take you to a Discord invite, which for me opens the Discord server. But you just click continue to Discord. It will take you to the browser or maybe an app on your computer. And you can also get to it by going to this link, bit.ly/PS Discord, capital P, capital S. And let's get back to my screen so I can show you how beautiful Discord really looks. So basically it's a giant chat room. It's a giant hangout that's open 24/7. On the right here, you can see everyone who's part of the server or the club. We've got Adobe folks here at the top. So if you need a really specific Adobe question answered, feel free to ask us. We've got mentors here as well. Sam Peterson, you should all know him. Ted and Valder as well. Awesome, awesome. And a bunch of other friends. So the real reason for this Discord is you're gonna come here and post your works in progress or your final pieces, and you can post it in this feedback channel for the challenge by just pressing this plus button and uploading it from your computer. So you can say, hey, I'm not sure about the color palette here, or here's my day 2 challenge, what do you think? And people will respond and help you out. What's up, Daria? Good to see you. And Nick, yeah, it's a great place for feedback, totally. And just for hanging out too, you can ask questions, get career advice, just introduce yourself too. I highly recommend doing that so we all know who we're chatting with. Whose work is that? Yeah, that's Frank. Very nice. Okay, so I think that covers pretty much everything. We got the live stream every day. You can chat with people 24/7 on Discord. And also we're going to be uploading our work onto Behance. So at the end of the 2-week challenge, we're going to have a portfolio piece. And for my challenges specifically, I like to have a little bit of a theme going on. So I'm feeling very summery. I'm feeling very like the heat is hot right now. The sun is out. So what's better than a cold beverage? Maybe a seltzer, maybe a shrub soda. So I thought it would be fun at the end of this challenge to have a custom artist pack of canned drinks, whether it's a beer or a seltzer, like I said, or whatever you want, a soda pop, who's to say? But I always love going into stores and seeing those artist collections of drinks where they get a local artist or a popular artist and they design their own collection. So that's what we're gonna do. Are those Jordans? So here's an example of one of the projects we're going to do. This is a Paranoid Pineapple Shrub Seltzer. So this exact workflow is a little bit of pixel sorting. It's a little bit of solarization. We're going to go over this, I think, later this week. So if you want to learn, make sure you come back. I know, Annika, very exciting. Another thing we're going to be learning is about clipping masks and about the type tool in Photoshop. So there are thousands of fonts within Photoshop that we're going to be looking into, choosing our favorites and applying some patterns to it. We're also going to be doing some double exposure. I think this comes pretty early in this week, so make sure you come back if you want to learn how to layer images on top of each other, let the texture show through to make a nice, cool, gritty space scene. Daria says, I just got a beer with my design on it, but it will be great to try something different. Very cool, Daria. You should definitely upload that on the Discord. I would like to see that. Yeah, Austin, I'm really excited for this challenge. So let's just go over Photoshop really quick. So, because I know a lot of you guys are, yeah, Sean, remember to recycle your cans, 100%. I know a lot of you guys are really familiar with Photoshop and these daily creative challenges, but they really are beginner friendly. So let's start way back in the beginning. How do I even get Photoshop on my computer? The easiest way to do it is to open your Creative Cloud desktop app, go to all apps and download Photoshop. I already have it downloaded, so it just says open, but yours will say download if you don't have it downloaded yet. So you can get that started now if you don't have it downloaded, and then tomorrow when we start actually working on the projects, you should be good to go. What's up, Chris? Good to see you. Murray says, will you be using free assets from Adobe Stock or licensed assets? Murray, that's a great question. So I'll be using the licensed version of the assets, but I will be providing the preview version, so the one with a little watermark on it. And if you want to license it, totally can, or you can use your own assets. I'm a total proponent of using your own photos, or if you have another site that you like, you can definitely use that as well. Alrighty, so we are within Photoshop. Now I have this nice gradient shape because I'm going to make a cover image for my Behance project so that we have a project to be putting all of our work into as we're uploading it. So let me just show you how I made this really quick, and then we can make the cover image together. Now the cover image might get updated in the future, but this is just a good kind of placeholder while it's a work in progress. Why do you have two Photoshops? That's a good question. There's like some beta versions and some new versions, so this is the most updated version though, 2021. So when we get into Photoshop and we don't have a project open already, we'll get this new document window. And this is where we can choose what kind of sizes or resolutions that we want. We can even choose presets up here at the top. So if we want like a photo preset, maybe a landscape 3x2, that would actually probably work for what we need. We just need a rectangular shape that we're going to put some text on. So you'll see it comes over here to 3 inches by 2 inches. Orientation is landscape, resolution 300. Doesn't have to be that high. Could be like 200, could be 150, but we'll just go with this for now. And there you go. We have a blank rectangle. So let's add our quick gradient background into the background, and then we're going to add some text on top with some cool layer styles that will jazz it up just a tad. So when I have my project open, I'm just going to go to the bottom of the layers panel, which is this one on the bottom right. And I'm noticing that you guys cannot see my layers panel. So I'm going to make my screen a little bit smaller just for you. There we go. That should work. Push that live. A little nudge. Cool. So we're going to go down here to our adjustment layers, and I'm going to choose gradient. Challenge 1 is done. Nice, Sean. All right, so instead of this one, I'm going to open this drop down, and I'm going to choose one of these beautiful gradients. Photoshop comes preloaded with a bunch of awesome gradients. So I think, is this the one that I had open? One of these. Something pinky, something orangey. Nice, Apurva. Good to have you. Feel free to share your work in the Discord. And I'm just gonna click OK, and you'll notice over in my layers panel, I now have a gradient fill layer, which is just this beautiful, colorful gradient. I can turn it on and off by clicking this eyeball for the visibility. General Kenobi, what about a circular canvas? How will I make my CD labels? Hey, that's a great question. I think you'd probably have to make it on a square canvas and then make a circular smart shape. What do you think, General Kenobi? I think you know the answer. I think you are pretty well versed in the Photoshops. Okay, so let's add a layer on top of this gradient so that it is visible on top and we can see it. The layer we're gonna add is a text layer, so you can get to the text tool just by tapping T. You'll see over here in my toolbar, which you also can't see. It seems like I've been gone too long and my resolution of my workspace is all wonky. There we go. I'm just gonna scale this down a tad. That looks good. Perfect. Okay, we're going over to the T tool or the text tool. You can also just come over here to the toolbar and select it. I'm just gonna click within my canvas and that's gonna automatically just add a little bit of filler text. Boom, that's big. Probably a little too big. When you activate your text tool, over here in your properties panel, it will say, oh, you're using the text tool. Let me show you all of your text options. I love that about the properties panel. It changes depending on what tool you're using. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. I'm just gonna come here to the size options, hover over this little slider. You'll see the two little arrows right there. I'm just gonna click and drag to the left to decrease the size. Lorem ipsum. I'm gonna hit escape just to exit editing mode so that I can then grab the move tool, center it up, maybe make it a little bit smaller. And I have this typeface already loaded. It's called Beastly, very beastly. I'm gonna be using that for the next 2 weeks. So if you would also like to use Beastly, I'll show you how to get it really quick. So in your character options, you might have another font selected like Acumen or something like that. We're gonna click more from Adobe Fonts, and that's gonna open Adobe Fonts in a web browser for you. Just search the font Beastly, click the sync icon, and it will then be added to your Photoshop. We're gonna go over type options and type tools in a later challenge. You saw a little preview with the clipping masks. So I'm not gonna talk too much about Adobe Fonts right now, but if you wanna use Beastly, here you go. I'm also going to be providing a file for you tomorrow in the downloadables that already has Beastly synced. So when you open it, you'll get a little notification that says like, do you want to add this font? And you'll say, heck yeah, I love Beastly. Or maybe you're not a big fan. That's fine. No judgment. You can choose whatever one you want. But I recommend using one typeface to go across all of your designs so that it feels like a cohesive project at the end. Bruce, I know. It's amazing. So let's change the color of our typeface very quickly by just clicking this color swatch. Maybe I will choose like a cool yellow. Very summery. And I'm also going to change my type by activating my text tool again by tapping T. I'm just gonna highlight all of this and say June, hit enter, 2021. You'll see that my cursor disappeared because the leading, the space between my lines, is set way too high. That's because I was already using this previously today and I messed it up. So I'll show you how to reset that. I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna come here to my leading options or my space between lines, and I'm just gonna decrease it by clicking and dragging to the left. Cool, that looks pretty good. I'm gonna give a little bit of space just by hitting the space bar. Haha. Hit escape so that I can then use the move tool to center this back up. And you could add other text. You could say Daily Creative Challenge. You could say Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. Since this is just a space holder cover image, I'm just gonna leave it June 2021 for now. And I will show you how to zhuzh it up just a bit. General says there's a heck yeah button now. There should be, and it should just be my voice, a little sound bite. Love it. Frank, yeah, it is kind of a psychedelic Western font. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It's mixing two totally kind of different vibes. Alrighty, so with my text layer selected, you'll notice that my text layer is at the top of my layer stack. I have 3 layers: background, gradient, text, and you're seeing it in that order as well. Text is on top, gradient is in the middle, and then we can't see the background, which is just a white square because the gradient is covering it. So with my text layer selected, I'm going to go down here to my effects options for my layer. It's literally just says effects, FX. You can pop that open, and I'm just going to select stroke. It's the second one down, and you'll notice that it adds an outline around my letters. Now it's a little bit too thick, I would say, so I am going to decrease the size. Very nice. I'm actually going to change the color to the background color. You'll see why in a second. I'm just clicking on my canvas to pick up that color. Click OK, and then I'm going to duplicate my stroke. So this is kind of relatively new in Photoshop, where we can add duplicates of layer styles and put them on top of each other to make even cooler layer styles. So right here, this plus button, I'm going to click that, and you'll see it adds a second stroke. So on this bottom one, I'm going to change the color to yellow by just clicking on it within my canvas. I'm going to increase my size. So now we have this cool stroke on stroke look. Maybe leave a little bit of space. Nice. Now I'm going to add one more stroke layer, and I am going to set it to position inside. That looks kind of weird. Let's change the color. I'm going to choose kind of like a sherbety orange. We could play around with some different options. Whoa. I don't want it to be too different from the yellow that's already in there. Just a tad. Nice. I like that. Use Comic Sans. I challenge one of you to use Comic Sans as your kind of hero font for all of these. That'd be amazing. Hey Dee, how you doing? Astounding. June 2021. It is 2021, right? Yes, okay. It's actually the 21st of June as well. Okay, this works. So we have 3 layer styles applied to one text layer, and it gives us this cool multiple stroke look. I'm going to go back to my original design that I made even before this to show you a different version. So here we go. I added a stroke, a blue one. I put an orange one on the inside. Then I actually duplicated my text layer, moved it a little bit over to the right, then added a stroke to that so it almost looks like a little bit of an extrusion or a shadow. I added a little bit of texture, which I'll show you how to do, I think, tomorrow when we're talking about blend modes and how to get layers to lay on top of each other but keep their texture. General says, should the numbers touch or not? Hey, that's up to you. That is a visual choice that you can make. I like when they overlap a little bit and a little bit of space in between, but we could nudge it up a little so that they are laying right on top of each other. That's for you to decide. So I'm just going to go ahead and export this. Quick export as PNG. We'll get it uploaded onto Behance. But before that, I'm going to put this onto Discord. Discord day 1 or day 0. And ask what you all think. And then tomorrow we can make our Behance project. Alrighty, so I have Discord open. I'm going to go into challenge feedback, press this plus button, choose my file, and say, how do we feel about day 0? Do we like the font choice? Upload it. I'll see what y'all think. I'm going to be hanging out in Discord as well for the next 2 weeks, so I'll be giving feedback too. Again, if you want to join us on Discord, it's bit.ly/PS Discord, capital P, capital S. And then that's it for me for today. So make sure you come back at 9 a.m. Pacific tomorrow, or 12 p.m. or 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for day 1. We're going to get started on our first drink label. I'll show you how to use the mock-up. I'll show you what workflow we're going to do, and I'll show you how to upload it onto Behance. So very exciting. It was good to see all of you old friends in the chat and new friends as well. Again, I'm Kathleen. I'll be in Discord. Ask me a question if you need to, and I will see you tomorrow morning. It was so great to see all of you. Goodbye for now. We'll be back shortly with more live streams.